In 1988, a school known as Shady High is about to host its annual prom event, where they select their best female character as their prom queen. Our protagonist, Lori, narrates to us that everyone in this town has always said that she'd be dead or a killer, and that her last name is also cursed. She further explains what Shady High School really looks like by introducing us to the ideal prom queen, the girl who's supposedly the perfect representation of Shadyside High, Tiffany Falconer. Tiffany is the leader of the wolf pack, who has been a thorn in Lori's flesh and has always bullied her since kindergarten. There are 6 girls running for prom queen this year, and alongside Tiffany are her 3 friends. One of them is Linda, who has perfect grades, and so does Tiffany, thanks to her. Then there's Debbie, known as Tiffany's mouthpiece. This one can ruin a student's reputation anytime, anywhere, with just her mouth. Finally, there's Melissa, Tiffany's lapdog. Their ultimate rival is Christy. She's really pretty but only runs for prom queen just to piss off Tiffany and her pack. Lastly, the final candidate is Lori, and unlike everyone else, Lori is definitely not popular, making her the least likely candidate for anyone. Lori's best friend, Megan, has always been by her side, no matter what. During one of their classes, Megan gets bored and picks up a machete to cut her arm. Everyone screams in panic, but it turns out this is just a prank, and Megan is sent to detention by the class teacher. Later that day, Megan and Lori go into a store to buy a dress for their prom night. Since Lori doesn't have enough money to buy the dress she wants, she tells Megan she has to work some extra shifts in order to afford it. Realizing that she won't have anyone to go with her, Megan begs Lori to be her prom date, and Lori gladly accepts. During her shift, Lori can't help but keep staring at her crush, which happens to be Tiffany's boyfriend Tyler. Tiffany notices this, so she humiliates her in front of everyone. Later that evening, Tyler returns to the restaurant because he forgot his jacket, and the two have a small chat which really makes Lori grow fond of him. One night, Christy was on her way home after selling some of her dope, when she suddenly hears something moving behind her. Before she could react, a masked figure wearing a red robe cuts her on the arm with an axe and Christy falls to the ground. She begs the masked figure to spare her life, but instead the figure brings his axe on Christy's head. Since Christy is absent and no one knows what happened to her, and to be honest they didn't really care, the school principal instantly disqualifies Christy and proceeds with the prom settings. The next day, while Lori was going for her final shift, Tiffany approaches Lori to warn her not to cross her as she's very dangerous and has no glimpse of what she's capable of, reminding Lori how her mother ruined their prom night when she killed his father. It's prom day and Lori's mom finally finds the courage to meet with her daughter to apologize for carrying the weight of the family's tragedy. Lori assures her she would win to clear the family's name. Since Lori and Megan doesn't have a prom date, they decided to be each other's date. All the other competitors are all Tiffany's friend. They're happy that one of them is definitely going to win. Tiffany looks at Linda with a sense of hate after seeing her sharing a flyer telling people to vote for her. During the event, the vice principal gives a speech about the moral of the event, saying that their chosen prom queen is the representation of what the school stands for, so they should vote wisely. With this, Tiffany and her group puts on a show where they danced in front of the cheering student and mocked Lori at the same time. After the performance, Tiffany hugs his boyfriend and reminds him to behave well tonight, which he doesn't take well. Lori is worried about the way things are going. She wants everyone to notice her, but Tiffany is blocking every way she could possibly show herself. Some of Tiffany's fans even comes to taunt Lori and Megan to vote for Tiffany, and Megan ends up insulting them by calling them Tiffany's lapdogs, which makes them very angry. Linda and her boyfriend goes to the locker room to get their remaining flyers to share amongst the students, only to get there and see the flyers turned to shreds. Determined to get revenge on who did it, they hear the door shut behind them. Sure that this must be the people that messed with her flyers, Linda goes to confront them, only to return minutes later holding her guts together with her hands, while the masked figure stands right behind her. The boyfriend immediately tries to grab a weapon to defend himself, only to easily get caught and overpowered by the figure. It places his hand in one of the mechanical tools and chops his hand off. The guy tries to fight back with the other hand. The figure grabs it and chops it off, leaving him with no hands, as the boy crawls towards the exit and tries opening the door. But because he has lost both hands, the figure easily catches up with him and smashes his face on the door. Inside the ballroom, Lori is approached by Tyler, who compliments her look and appears to be really fond of her. While they talk, a scream could be heard, and it turns out to be a mold of Tiffany's head, which was made as a prank by Megan. Lori in particular is angry with Megan because of this. Judging from the look on everyone's face, Lori is scared that no one would want to vote for her, and she really wants to win the prom to clean the stain on her family history. This causes a rift between the two girls. Megan sees Christy's boyfriend Jimmy and follows him outside. She asks him about Christy's whereabouts, and Jimmy says he doesn't know and has been looking for Christy for the past 48 hours. Megan tells him to call the cops, but he replies that the local police wouldn't do anything about it. Meanwhile, Lori is gifted a bouquet of roses by a mystery person. Somewhere inside the school, Debbie's boyfriend takes her to one of the shady rooms to show her a gift he got for her. This is his mother's necklace and Debbie knows this and still appreciates it. He puts it on her and tries to make out only for him to be brutally sawed on the face in front of Debbie while holding her hands. Debbie screams as she tries to run away but gets cornered by the masked figure. Megan hears the scream and stops to listen carefully only to lose interest when two students comes out through one of the rooms. With no one coming to save her, the figure scares Debbie with the saw which causes her to fall against her back on an electric panel and gets fatally electrocuted which briefly causes a blackout in the school. When Tiffany sees that Tyler is giving Lori attention, she makes another crass comment about her father's murder, which even Melissa considers to be too much. Lori goes to the bathroom, and Melissa gives her Tiffany's makeup bag to make herself look better. When Tiffany finds out, she insults Melissa and throws a punch in her face. The DJ then puts Lori and Tiffany into a dance-off to a very popular song at that time, which Lori ends up winning and leaves Tiffany humiliated. Meanwhile, Melissa goes to clean herself up and is cornered by the killer in the locker room. Before she can escape, a second killer emerges, and the first one slams his axe into Melissa's head. Tyler has enough of Tiffany's behavior and he breaks up with her to go dance with Lori. Outside, Megan is smoking weed with another classmate until she sees the masked killer walking by. She begins to get suspicious after realizing that Linda, Debbie, and Melissa have disappeared, and Jimmy hasn't heard from Christy in days. When she goes to warn Lori, she just assumes Megan is coming up with another gag to go against prom night and ruin things for Lori. Lori and Tyler go off to hook up and Tyler gets a knife through his skull. Lori makes a run for it while Megan comes across the body of the school janitor plus the body of Debbie and his boyfriend. Lori and Megan run back into each other, their fears now confirmed. They manage to break out from the basement by climbing out of a window. The girls run back into the hall, where Lori is announced as being prom queen. She goes on stage to try and warn everyone, but the killer chops off the leg of a rude girl and then decapitates her boyfriend. The students start to scatter, and the principal gets his arm chopped off in the process. Lori then takes her prom crown and stabs the killer through the eye. Some of the guys hold him down, and he is unmasked to reveal that it was Dan, Tiffany's dad, who's acting on behalf of his wife and daughter so that Tiffany could win the prom queen. Minutes later the police arrives to arrest Dan. Lori and Megan reconcile before Megan is taken to the hospital. The police tells Tiffany's mom they need her statement so she has to stay behind. Lori agrees to accompany Tiffany home since they live across the street from each other. On the ride back, Tiffany seems apologetic to Lori over her behavior and explains it was due to years of feeling like she was never good enough. Nancy manages to convince the police to let her go home to her daughter. It turns out that Tiffany's mom is the second killer. She holds a knife in her hand and starts to go upstairs where Lori and Tiffany are sleeping. Lori hears the noise and wakes up to find Tiffany's mom with a knife. Tiffany also wakes up and pretends she's on her side and they both run to escape from her mom. Tiffany takes her to hide in one of their room and pretends that what her parents did was horrible. Suddenly she pulls out a small knife and tries to stab Lori with it, but Lori is quick enough to hold the knife. As they both struggle, Lori manages to push off Tiffany and dash out of hiding. Unfortunately, Tiffany's mom comes in from behind and grazes Lori from the back. As soon as she falls to the ground, Tiffany's mom makes a shocking revelation that she was the one that killed Lori's dad because he was supposed to be his prom date, but instead he went for Lori's mom. She couldn't bear the humiliation, so she ended his life. As soon as she tries to finish Lori off, Tiffany tells her mom to allow her to do it. In a bid to save herself, Lori kicks Tiffany off the stairs and she falls to her death. Tiffany's mom, ever determined to end Lori's life herself, chases after Lori. Lori tries opening the door of the house but it's locked. While trying to avoid being stabbed to death, Lori finds an object and hits Tiffany's mom on the head with it. As soon as she falls to the ground, she starts to beg Lori for help, but she ignores her and walks out the building. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video and would love to see more from this channel, please like and subscribe.